Okay everyone, the first thing we're going to do with this video series is to look at how to cut our ends so they are square when using woodwork tools. We're going to start off with a tri-square and a tenon saw. And what the idea behind this is, we use the tenon saw to mark a straight line and then use a tenon saw to cut the straight line. If I put a tri-square on the end of a piece of wood, I can see whether it is square. So this part here is touching all the way along. And the idea behind that is that we know this bit here is a perfect right angle when this bit's touching here. I always use the word snogging, and the idea behind that is it's not kissing on a cheek, it's not waving from a distance, it's proper lips to lip kissing it, okay? And I can see here there's a gap in my piece of wood. So what I need to do is I need to mark it, the piece of wood, so that I can cut this end bit off. To do that, I put my piece of wood on. I've made sure I've got a bit of space there to cut. I could use a pencil, normal pencil, but I actually really like the clicky pencils just because they're always sharp. So if I draw my line along there, okay, you can see my line. What I then need to do is draw a line all the way around. And this is going to let me check later on that I am straight. So put my square on, make sure it's touching all the way along. Draw a line there. So what I've got here, the line goes round, down there, round the corner. If I keep going round, putting it on, slide it up until I get to the line. Draw my line across. Meet the corner there, draw my line across. And if I've done that right, what I should have here is a line that goes all the way around my work. What I'm going to do is cut that line. Because I want this line here straight, I'm actually going to put the saw on this side of the wood, on the waste side. So I open up the bench hook, put it in, push it closed. Then I'm going to slide the piece of wood along the bench hook until this line is level with this piece of wood there. Okay, then I get a tenon saw. Okay, I'm left-handed, so work on the left. If you're right-handed, you do exactly the same thing, but on the right-hand side. So my index finger, or my bogey finger, is going to go straight down there. And the idea behind that is this grip, it's called a pistol grip. It just helps the saw stay straight when you're cutting. I'm going to do this hand, my right hand, I'm going to put on my bench hook to hold the piece of wood. So the palm of my hand is holding the piece of wood. And I'm going to put the saw slightly to the left of my line. And then I'm going to use my index finger on my right hand side just to put on the side of the saw. Not under it, because if I put it under it, I'll cut my finger. I want it on the side of the saw just to hold it still. I put the saw on and push it forward just a bit. Right. Forward, forward. And what that does, it just creates a little tiny groove that my work can sort of start off from. And these type of saws, we want to saw with them flat, not at an angle, flat. I use all the teeth from front to back. I haven't got pushed down with the saw, I'm just gently going to slide it. So gently slide the saw forwards and backwards. If you push down when sawing, the teeth get stuck in the wood and actually make it more work. So being really, really gentle helps. I can then get the tri-square, put it on the end and check it straight. So here I can't see any light through it. And there I can't see any light through it. So that is a nice straight end. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of this wood off. These are all my sample wood joints. So for my sample wood joints, I'm going to aim for 10 centimetres long. So I put the edge of a sliding adjustable square on where it says number 10, and then twist the little thumb screw to lock it. and then put the square on and draw a line at this end of it. What I can then do, I can then use the adjustable square or a regular tri-square to draw my line all the way around. Because the lines all meet all the way around, I know it's straight. And because I want this piece at 10 centimeters, the saw is now going to go on this side of the line. So I put it back in the bench hook, lined up with this, and then I'm going to put the saw on, just adjust the piece of wood slightly into my, I can just see the pencil line on this side of the saw blade. Okay. Fingers back on the side of the saw again, push forward once, twice, 3 times. I've got my little groove just to hold the saw. Gently go forwards and backwards, nice long strokes. Okay, so I've got my piece of wood. What I can then do is put my square on again to check it's square this end. That is square, and also it is at 10 centimeters long, which it is. So that is how I cut my piece of wood to the correct size for my sample wood joints. In the next set of videos, you can work through one by one different videos, and not different videos, different wood joints.